That didn't sound as sexy as I thought it would. Hey, what's up everyone, Danny here. So this is gonna be a slightly different type of build video. I'm not gonna go through all the parts in as much detail as I normally do, and I'm not gonna do any benchmarks. I'm gonna show a build using a new case I've never used before, and the point of this is to kind of showcase some of the builds that I typically do and I don't post on social media like on Twitter or Instagram, and that never make it to the channel, because not everything that I used to build made it to Nerd on a Budget. Sometimes I had a quick project to do for someone and then I did it, got out the door, and it was never like documented, but I want to change that. I want every single build I do now to at least be captured in some form. And in particular this build, I'm going to be using a case from this company called SAMA that I've never used before. This is the SAMA-3D. In looking for a case, I wanted something that was tempered glass, which this one has, and I wanted it to already be populated with fans that had some sort of lighting on them. This one apparently has adjustable RGB on them, and this one has a big front mesh. So when I was looking through Newegg, this one popped up for 50 bucks. Unfortunately, there was tax and shipping, which brought it up to 64 at the end of the day. So I picked it up for 64 bucks, but for a tempered glass case, big mesh front, and apparently three adjustable RGB fans. That sounds like good value, since adjustable RGB, even from generic brands on Amazon, is already like 30 bucks itself. The total cost comes in around $550, and everything was bought brand new except for the graphics card. But everything else, aside from the graphics card, which is where you're going to save the most money if you were to buy anything used, everything else was bought on Amazon or Newegg. We'll talk about the case as I run into issues or not. Gotta move on to this out of the way. Actually, let's unbox the case and take a look at it. Alright, so all of the expansion slots are breakaway, so that is where they got some of the costs already. Big front mesh panel, tempered glass side, no rubber grommets or anything on the motherboard tray. Let's get this thing filled up and then turn it on to see what it looks like. So there's a decent amount of space back here for cable management. It's actually pretty deep. I'd say it's about an inch deep, so yeah, that's not going to be an issue for getting all the cables nice and clean back here. There's actually one replaceable expansion slot cover. It's right here, so at least there's that. Here's all the fan cables, and I'm not seeing any 3-pin adjustable RGB. For the fans, all I'm seeing are these Molex connectors. I don't think these are actually adjustable RGB fans, or if they're adjustable, they're not controllable by the motherboard. They might just have like the rainbow flowing effect or whatever, and it's just completely random and not controllable. So that's kind of deceiving, I guess, because on the product description it says adjustable RGB fans, 3 of them. So that's a little bit disappointing, because that lowers the value of the fans. So they're not really worth like the 30 bucks that most of the generic brands are charging. But it's okay, it might still look good. So let's see. So far everything's going great with this case. Getting the power supply in now, so I'm going to have to route all the cables. But no issue so far, and then after this all I have is the SSD and the graphics card. So now I just pull out all the cables I need. The 24-pin, 4 or 8-pin CPU, graphics card. It's going to be the single 8-pin. And then we need one for SATA, some Molex, because all the fans are daisy chained. So I'm going to tuck the rest in the hard drive bay, and they can be removed if a hard drive is going to be installed later on. But this will keep it nice and clean. So I got the Molex connected, and I'm just going to tuck it into the hard drive cage so it's nice and neat and out of the way. For the SSD, it just goes on the motherboard tray, and normally I feel like cases in this price range would have some kind of bracket that you can put on so that you can slide it into place for quick release. That's not the case, which is a little bit of a pain to get on there, because I'm going to have to work the screw in from the other side. It's a little bit annoying. Kind of have to go from the back like this. It makes me very thankful for all the other cases, even the budget ones that come with some sort of like hot swap, quick release mechanism. But this is only a pain really once though. The person I'm building this for, he's not going to be making too many modifications. And if he does, he's probably going to get like an NVMe drive or a 3.5 inch for more storage. Those are going to be easy to install. It's just this one time that this is going to be annoying. Now the SSD is right there. It's being shown. Now I'm doing the most fun part of any build. Getting these power and reset switch and hard drive indicator lights on. This is like the most fun part ever. But not really. So now I just need to get the graphics card in and then do some cable management real quick and then I'll be done. This is a pretty roomy case. Not much is in the way since the hard drive cage is down below the power supply shroud. And then there's plenty of room in front of the fans to work with. Plenty of room up top since we're not putting any like radiator or extra fans in here. So it's just going to be pulling air in and then just pushing it out wherever there's an opening. I probably could use an exhaust fan. Maybe I'll see if I have one on the shelf that I can just throw in here. When it comes to cable management, I typically like to use these twist ties rather than zip ties that come with these, because zip ties, they're one-time use. If you need to undo something, it's a pain. You have to cut it and then you can't use it anymore. But these twist ties, if you need to do something temporarily, you can undo them, fix it up, and then retwist it. So I usually use this for cable management instead of the zip ties. And they're usually in the case anyways because that's how they tie on like the bag of bolts and other things like that. So the cables are pretty much tidied and tied down back here. I'm going to put the back panel on and yeah, it goes on without any issue. There's plenty of room to work back here, so not surprising. Here's a better view of it from the top. So looks pretty clean. It works. Turns on. Let's take a look at these fans here. So this the adjustable RGB they're talking about. These fixed rainbow colored. It's not even adjustable. The bulbs are like fixed colors. The thing about Newegg images is that it can't show motions. From the pictures it looked like, I thought this was gonna be like moving or the RGB effect would be flowing, but this is kind of like those cheap keyboards on Amazon with the fixed rows colored keys. Yeah, just fixed multicolor look to it. Overview and thoughts of the case. It was really easy to build in. There were no glaring issues with it. I didn't have any problems getting anything to fit. It was really easy to get it to look clean. Plenty of space in the back for cable management. Plenty of space to hide any extra stuff if you don't have a modular power supply in the shroud. I think my biggest issue with this is the fans. And they're actually pulling a lot of air and they're quiet. But my issue is that it looks cheap because that adjustable RGB is just fixed lighting. It doesn't move, it doesn't flow at all, so it doesn't look like it's that high quality. But yeah, for $65, I probably wouldn't buy this again. I would buy it again if it was like $45, maybe $50, just because fans, 3 fans are gonna run you around 15 to 20 bucks regardless. The shipping kind of killed me here. It was $8 shipping, so that's why it pushed the price up to $64. If there was free shipping, which Newegg typically does have on cases, I just didn't happen to catch this when it had free shipping, it would be a little bit better because it would have come out to around 55 bucks. I'm not a fan of this for the $65 that was paid. But overall, the system I think is going to perform really well. It's Ryzen 1600 with the RX 480. You can't go wrong with that for 1080p. $550 for every part brand new except for the graphics card. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. It's more vloggy like, and Hopefully you got some insight on this case. Hopefully if anyone is looking for the SAMA-3D case, they'll now find this. They'll get more, quality B-roll footage of it, since there's not much information about it out there. And then it'll help you make a decision whether or not to buy this. But yeah, thank you as always for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have you heard of the SAMA brand at all? Or has anyone out there bought this case? Were you like me and thought it looked good in the pictures? Let me know. I'll see you in the comments as well as in the next video. Bye.